do this stuff. This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Celebrities are known for all sorts of things, including giving stirring performances, making big plays in sports, and beyond. But when it comes to meltdowns, they're the kings. Because while regular people can have meltdowns without much issue, celebrities seem to take it up to 11 and then keep going. So given that, allow us to show you the top 8 celebrity meltdowns. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly used to be a major deal in the world of news. Then it turned out he was a predator, lost millions in lawsuits, and then was fired from Fox News. Yet while that meltdown is memorable, arguably his most iconic one came when he was just trying to do his job. This all happened when he was a part of Inside Edition for 6 years. This was a long time ago, and technology wasn't the best. In one case, the teleprompter broke and it wasn't able to feed Bill O'Reilly the lines he needed to end the show in a preemptive manner. Time was running out, so Bill took command of the situation and said, "F it, we'll do it live," before commanding everyone to just get into their positions and follow his lead as he ended the show in a live format versus a taped format. When the cameras came back on, he was cool, composed, and did a perfect delivery of the ending of the show. Then, when the cameras were off, he reverted back to his angry form, if you will, and showed just how pleased he was with himself. Number 7.
Having somebody
Christian
walking
Bale.
up behind
Christian
Bryce
Bale is
in
praised
the
the
middle
world
of the
over for his
fucking
acting
scene.
ability, especially because he knows how to get into such character that it's honestly frightening. But this also means that he honestly has quite the temper, and he hates breaking character because of a fault of someone else. This happened when he was filming Terminator Salvation, and someone had gotten into the scene and distracted him from the lines he was delivering. Bale broke character and went on a tirade that was perfectly captured via audio and uploaded to YouTube.
Look, G, you got f***ing something to say to this prick?
I didn't see it happen.
Well, somebody should be f***ing watching and keeping an eye on him.
It's very intense and very, very loud and profane, with him even threatening to beat him up, damage his car, and more. When it got uploaded, it went so viral that even Family Guy used it for one of their episodes.
I want you off the set, you prick.
Sorry.
No, don't just be sorry. Think for one second.
I dropped a peanut M&M and it rolled over here.
Cutting the tape so that it looked like Bale was yelling at Peter Griffin. Yeah, you know you did something wrong when freaking Family Guy is mocking you. Number 6. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin has been living it up fame-wise as of late because of how he impersonates Donald Trump on Saturday Night Live. But as true fans know, when it comes to the Baldwin family, they have bad attitudes and even worse tempers. And when they come out, it gets ugly really fast. Back in 2007, he decided to let loose a message to his daughter, Ireland Baldwin, and noted that she was a rude little pig and that he was going to go and meet with her just so he could tell her how he feels about her.
Day, the 20th, to meet with me. So I'm going to let you know just how I feel about what a rude little pig you really are.
The key thing to remember here is that he was yelling at his own daughter, who, by his own words, was 11 or 12, and he was just letting into her like nothing else mattered to him at that point. If you're curious as to why he blew up, apparently they have a scheduled phone call that they're supposed to do, and she forgot to answer it. Yup, that's it. She missed a phone call and her daddy blasted her for minutes on end for it.
I stop whatever I'm doing, and I go when I make that phone call. At 11 o'clock in the morning in New York, and if you don't pick up the phone, at 10 o'clock at night, and you don't even have that goddamn phone turned on.
Naturally, the message leaked online and everyone threw shade at Baldwin, as they should. It should be noted that Alec and Ireland made up and even made fun of the event on social media one time. But seriously, get a grip, Alec. Number 5. Tom Cruise. The story of Tom Cruise is ripe with big moments and big meltdowns. And of course, we start with the most famous of the meltdowns in terms of Tom Cruise going on to Oprah shortly after falling in love with his soon-to-be wife, at the time, Katie Holmes. Cruise was so much in love with her that he got very animated, including the legendary jumping on the couch next to Oprah and shouting, "I love her," over and over again, much to the delight of the audience and the slight horror of Oprah. Seriously, that moment is still talked about to this day, and for good reason. It's equal parts hilarious, sad, and telling of what would happen next. Because later on that same year, he would go and do an interview with Matt Lauer about Scientology, and Cruise had another meltdown that would result in his Hollywood career suffering massively. Yes, he did recover, but it was anything but easy. And he's been much more reserved since that point. Number 4. Amanda Bynes. There are many child stars out there who have had their various brushes with fame and then fell hard from it, such as the former Nickelodeon star Amanda Bynes, who was a major star in both TV and movies, and then she melted down. At first, it was just her trying to shake the image of her being a child star. Then it was making some very charged tweets, and it just kept escalating, eventually getting her arrested and put in court. But wait, there's a twist in this story, because it was later revealed that the real reason for these antics wasn't fully Amanda's fault. She had been diagnosed very late with bipolar disorder, and that is something that can cause all sorts of mood swings and other issues that are not to be ignored. She was eventually given treatment, and things seemed to have worked out for her. But for years, everyone thought she was just another child star going over the edge, which is a label that will be hard to shake for Bynes. Number 3. Lindsay Lohan. Yep, from one mean girl to another, let's talk Lindsay Lohan, who went from being one of the top stars at Disney to being one of the biggest jokes in the Hollywood world. In short, she went and did drugs and alcohol to such an extent that she went in and out of rehab consistently, went to court a lot, went to jail for 84 minutes, and on and on. This hurt her career in a big way. Lohan even started to spoof herself on other shows and in commercials just to make a paycheck. Eventually, she did get her act together and focus more on business than acting, which has worked well overall. But when you mention the name Lindsay Lohan, people are going to think about her epic fall from grace. Number 2. Mel Gibson. When Mel Gibson was at his peak, he was a top Hollywood actor, and for good reasons. He even started doing directing, which would pay off in various ways. But on New Year's Day, he decided to get drunk, head out on a semi-deserted road, and drive his car and basically go 100 miles per hour. Naturally, he got arrested for what happened, and that led to him saying the infamous meltdown about Jews and how they, quote, ruined the world, among other things, of course. Mel took a major hit on his career because of this, and he would eventually go and have to start at the bottom, so to speak, and work his way back up into the light by directing Oscar-nominated pictures like Hacksaw Ridge and more. But this meltdown will truly follow him forever, and he has no one but himself to blame for it. Number 1. R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a case of someone who went from a legend to a monster over the course of many years after many came out to talk about how he treated women. We won't go into details, but trust us, it's bad. In fact, it was so bad, it inspired a documentary series called Surviving R. Kelly, and R. Kelly wasn't too happy about that at all. To that end, he reached out to Gayle King at CBS News to do an interview with him, which started off fine, but then R. Kelly flew into a rage about people speaking out against him, yelling and getting very animated about all of it. Gayle did her best to stay calm and not incite anything, even though she didn't see this particular act of aggression coming. I could see it escalating, but I didn't think he was going to jump out of his chair. Even when he jumped out of the chair, I have to say, I didn't think he was going to do anything to me. It's just that he was extremely emotional and extremely worked up. The whole interview was described as an unhinged moment for R. Kelly, and further proof that he was guilty of what everyone was saying. Fast forward to now, and he's basically a joke in the world and someone to be blasted at every turn. We could have done without the meltdown, but it helps. So what do you think? What do you think of these celebrities who had a major meltdown on camera or while they were being recorded, and how it just went nuts really quickly? Which of these celebrity meltdowns do you find the most hilarious? Which ones are you surprised in terms of who recovered from them? Do you know of another major celebrity meltdown that totally deserves to be on this list? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.